I see it.
Perfect. Yeah, welcome everyone to the Kured Dev meeting. It is the 22nd of April. And we have a quick look at our agenda doc. It looks like today it's just Jean-Philippe and myself. We had a couple of action items from last time. I guess I could share my screen. Let me do that. Where's this? Can you see this?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, make the font a bit bigger. So yes, I set up the milestone for the release we want to get out, and I think that's going to be the biggest thing we talk about today. 1.4.0. We had a couple of things we wanted to get done, and most of it is done. Yes, let's talk about that later on. Let's just review the other bits. Yes, I set up the monthly meeting, which we're having right now, so that's done. And one question was if we wanted to invite the authors of the Helm chart. So the way the Helm charts are organized is that they can have an owners file, and then the owners are immediately notified about, PRs and all kinds of things, and they make the call on what goes into the charts. But the QD chart just doesn't have an owners file, so I wasn't quite sure who of these people to invite. Maybe I should just ask the original author, or I don't know, send a mail and see who responds. I just think it would be nice to include them because they seem to have put quite a bit of work into it. And we're even adding some additional things, but I can't quite remember. I never used the chart.
So I'm not using the chart myself, so I would not be, let's say, interested by being in the owners file. Just FYI, this is why he don't see my name in this contribution list. But I think it makes sense to ask the people there if they are interested. Tracking them down is maybe a manual approach of using the Git commits is probably the best way, I guess. But I'm not sure what's the expected outcome.
I think just networking, bring people together, be on the same page. I think it would be just nice if all the people who do anything with QD, that we all get them into a meeting and they know when we do a new release, or I don't know, we can just talk about things.
Yeah,
and maybe share maintenance of both QD and the chart.
Yeah, being part of the community that's already a good thing, right? So just for that, it deserves that everyone would be pinged, I think, because they might have missed the fact that there is a Slack channel and that we can communicate there. So it's already a good thing.
You're right. I think what I'll do is I'll just send a mail to every one of them and just inform them that we're out there. And
yeah, and maybe mention that already a problem that there is no owners files, and if they want to step up there, they could. I mean, we should do that.
Yeah.
You take the action point?
Yes, I'll do it.
Awesome.
Okay, and I guess the last bit we're going to talk about today is the release, and So Jean-Philippe and I discovered that we have a bit of a mismatch. So in the chase to support Kubernetes 1.18, um, we did the update. So we updated client Go and kubectl in the image. But according to the um, docs of QD, or in general the release and support policy of Kubernetes, um, Kubernetes aims to provide forwards and backwards compatibility of one minor version between client and server. So in our case, it would mean if we want to support 1.18, which is the current release, we should probably go to, revert to 1.17, and then would support all those three releases. I guess I could. It wasn't a crazy amount of work, so I could take a look at this again. I think it would be just nice if we could test this together. So, testing this in. Let me show you the, because we have some doc. I wrote this up somewhere. Is it in the development thing?
Yes, I think.
Yes. So basically, testing this with Minikube, like these steps over here, like testing this on one Kubernetes release takes like, including download, like 5 or 6 minutes. So it's not crazy much. And I can also test releases in our Weave Cloud in our dev environment. So that's also quite easy to do. But I think it would be nice if it wasn't just me looking at this. So I'm not the only one confirming that the release is ready. So my suggestion would be that I take a look at moving back to 1.17, so everything is nice and in order, and then we update the docs and get the release out.
Yeah, I think it's fair. Um, I've tried your previous pull request with this process, so I might be worried that we could be missing other things that are not tested by just this procedure. But let's say that assuming that we are not, I don't mind testing the next the next one here and to have the 1.17 tested and getting out of the door. I think it's necessary. The other news is that 1.19 is I think in RC or something like that of Kubernetes, or it's very close to be released. So I think that we need to do the 1.17 and then maybe in 1 month or 2 months go for the 1.19. So this way we are I would say catching up. What do you think?
Yes. No, I think that makes perfect sense. So I think we would just for this release move back to 1.17, and then we can move forward again. Like if we do like crazy changes in master for some time, I don't think that's a big deal. So I might actually go and play around with this tomorrow, and then I guess I would also ping everyone in the channel and see if they're interested in testing this, and then we can maybe get the release out on Monday. Would be my idea.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Sweet. Let me type this up. And yeah, what you said earlier makes sense as well. Like this bit about getting more testing mileage, so we can be more confident in getting releases out. I think that makes a lot of sense. Mm,
Yeah, I think we discussed in the last meeting about test coverage, and someone already had that under his wing. Maybe I'm remembering wrong, but I think that test can be happening later.
mhm.
Well, I mean, automatic testing can happen later as long
Yeah.
as we're sure of the minimum coverage, I would say.
So I know that the Flux project uses kind, and they even use kind in, I think, in a GitHub Actions workflow. So they bring up an entire cluster and do end-to-end tests. I'm just not sure how easy it would be to use something like this for. I mean, in our case, we have nodes that go up and down. So I'm not quite sure if this can be done with um, kind easily. Um,
I can have a look as an action item
yeah,
to have this kind of testing coverage in kind. I mean, testing coverage in QD with kind.
yeah, yeah. We'll figure something out. I don't think we're the first to test something like this. Um,
Pretty sure we're not.
yes, it would be. I mean, also with we don't have like dozens of PRs coming in every hour. Uh, far from it. So if we had like um, testing maybe even on different Kubernetes versions, so you had a few permutations you test, I think that would be beautiful, and those tests wouldn't run very often and not very long. I think, yeah, let's see.
Yeah, I understood the scope.
Yes, yes.
Thanks.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think you mentioned this other issue before. Which one was it again? The one about dropping kubectl and using.
But yeah, so there is no urgency on that. It was just because when we're building the image, we are currently fetching from the internet
Mhm.
kubectl and adding that to the image, which basically increased the size of the image, where we could just reuse parts of the kubectl as a library. It prevents of the, I mean, makes it easier to ship, and that's probably simpler. So I thought that maybe it would be a good idea to just move to that.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, I'm just
and
looking at the. Oh no, sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing.
though what I checked, what I would have loved is not using kubectl as a module, and so not import this, but import client Go. But I'm not sure this is going to be an easy path forward. The advantage of using client Go versus vendoring kubectl in my very new Golang understanding would be that we wouldn't introduce a new dependency. Um, because we already have client Go.
Yeah, I don't know either. I would need to check.
I think we should just do a proof of concept and see how it goes, and
Hmm.
if it's and compare, for example, image size and see how is. I mean, evaluate the trade-offs basically.
Yeah, I was just wondering if in general it would. Um, give us one thing less to worry about, not just the image size, but also different versions. Is this going to work with this and that kind
So
of
that
thing?
was the noble goal behind this, because
Mm-hmm.
if it's client Go, it would be just one single thing that we version, and
Mm-hmm.
so it makes the compatibility metrics easier on the eyes. But I'm not sure this is gonna be the case if we do the vendor in. So this is why I have to double check, or someone has to double check.
Sweet. Yeah, that's all I had.
That's all I had too.
Perfect. Perfect.
We we gained 40 minutes back.
Yes, I might. I might even have a look at moving back to 1.17 now. Just get it done, and then
Yeah,
yeah, I
sounds
think.
good.
Yeah. Perfect.
Thank you for doing that. It's
Yes.
uh it's good, and thank you for organizing the meeting.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for showing up. Have a
Have
good
a good
one.
day.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.